MashySMP was never supposed to be like this. It was never supposed to have real hate, real fights, and real wars. When the series first started, I had an agreement with the others that things were going to be mainly improvised, but also scripted. At the end of the series, I was supposed to have a war against a person I had been hinting at throughout most of the streams and videos.
Star has been in my base. This is not epic.
However, things didn't go as planned. It started all the way back at the first elections. While we were deciding the first ever president, some people decided to speedrun the game. The people who didn't, I gave a diamond. One of those people was Dia. Unfortunately, he got killed by Abbas. However, he seemed to be on good terms with them somehow, so they formed a team and started working on a base together. Seeing them work so well together, I needed to hurry up on mine, and I did so at the coordinates 420, 69, 666, where I've built all my bases. The problem was, it seemed that they weren't working that well together after all. In fact, Star and Abbas were mostly keeping the resources and armor sets to themselves. Dia was upset by this as he had built his own house in their base and demanded that he should get a share in the resources. They argued that he wasn't helping mine netherite and his house didn't even look good in their base. This was when Dia had enough. He came to me and asked if I could help him against Star and Abbas, and after understanding his situation, I gave him TNT so he could blow up his house and move on. Dia blew up more than his house. Chests full of resources were destroyed, and Star and Abbas instantly treated Dia as a traitor, killing him on sight. Every time he built a new bit of his base, he was killed. Every time he made a new pickaxe, he was killed. Every time he spawned, he was killed. At this point, every time he saw Star and Abbas, he combat logged so he didn't lose anything. MashyRay, my brother, felt sorry for him and helped him out by giving him the basic tools he needed to survive. However, MashyRay also lived very near to me and I started noticing my resources were disappearing ever since Dia had moved into the area. So I ordered them both to get off my island and get onto another one closer to my brother MashyZ and another member of the MashySMP called Active. Even with MashyRay's help, Dia was getting killed by Star and Abbas at every chance they saw. So I felt sorry for him and let him flatten some of my land in exchange for diamond gear. Even other people were troubled by Star and Abbas by making enemies with them, such as David, so I also let him live in a house in my base. But items were starting to disappear again. I couldn't trust Dia any longer, so I gave him his final bit of diamond gear and told him to never come on my island again. At this point, Star and Abbas had already killed the Ender Dragon and had max sets of armor. This was when Dia asked other people to steal for him. He teamed up with Active, who stole resources from me and made potions for Dia and the others. As Dia was gearing up for his conflict with Star, I was also finishing a maximum enchanted set of armor called the King's Armor. This armor was definitely the armor I was going to use to kill Star once and for all, as Star had already been hired by a mysterious member of the MashySMP to kill me, and he had already took a set of diamond armor I had worked pretty hard for.
Potato, oh wow, now he's gonna be, oh, okay, what's this? 32 emeralds, okay guys, that's pretty pog, you know, pretty pog. From me and my humble friend, Star. Well guys, I think Star has changed his ways, guys. I think Star might be one of our friends now. The president has changed his ways. Oh, what the hell? Wait, what the hell Star doing? Hey Star, this is my friend! What the hell? No, what the hell? Chat, what the hell? Guys! What the hell? No! Chat! No! I don't have a boat on me! No! Oh no. Hey, what are you doing? Come on, no! Oh no! Well, chat, it looks like Star is always the enemy, guys. We cannot trust Star no matter what.
Before I got to him though, Dia had already killed Star, removing his presidency and stealing all his gear. Star was angry as he had claimed he was lagging. Sadly, I couldn't do anything about it, so Star took it into his own hands. He killed Dia, took back his armor, rendering all the things Dia had worked so long for useless. As quick as he could, Dia came back with his backup set of armor. Meanwhile, while all this was happening, I was getting lava to use as decoration for my base, and as per usual, I was lagging. Dia was begging for his armor back, and because I knew Star and Abbas had given him a hard time, I asked Star to give his gear back. When I finally got enough lava, I went back up the stairs back to spawn, but that's where I met Dia. The hell, Dia? What? Okay. Can Can you stop that, please? I need to go do my bit. Wait, is he actually trying to kill me, huh? What's this guy doing, man? What the hell? As you can tell, I had no idea what was going on. Dia's war was with Star, and I was even trying to help him get back his gear. Dia was often accused of combat logging all the time by Star and Abbas, and took this as his opportunity to complain that I had combat logged without any consequences too. Unlike Dia though, I wasn't the type of person to be satisfied with a combat log, so I let him kill me. Dia seemed quite proud of what he had done, which made me even more confused because I had never had any conflict with him before this. Everyone was quite confused to how I'd lost to Dia with a max set of netherite armor, and to answer that, I'm not very good at PvP. All fights that we had planned were all going to be scripted so that we could actually accommodate for my crappy PvP skills. Since I knew I was so bad at PvP, I quickly gathered my friends from the good company and gave them all diamond sets. However, by the time I did that, Dia logged off, so the king's armor was his for now. The next few days were hard grinding for a new set, and I quickly made the Chaos Max set named after the Yu-Gi-Oh! Ace boss monster.
Mashy, I don't even... I don't know what I can do. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna start another war. Here, I mean, this is... I can give you these. No. We don't need a new war. We don't. We just have a diamond axe. Oh, guess he's dead again.
Unfortunately, Dia didn't play fair and square. He caused trouble for other players such as Seed, who labelled him as a terrorist because he had griefed all his crops.
There's a lot of terrorists. There's one right there. Right there.
Where?
Right over there. The back right. Back right. You see him?
Dia. Dia's a terrorist.
Yeah,
what?
he killed the president.
Alright. Okay, what else?
I mean, he just killed him.
What the hell?
He just killed 2 people in a fucking election.
He also hid the armor he stole from me in his ender chest and carried nothing, almost taunting me that I would never get the king's armor back. So if he was never going to let me kill him with his armor on, the only logical thing I could do was challenge him to a 1v1. His new allies, MD and David, begged him to fight so that there could be peace between my team of me and Fardeen and them again, but Dia was too scared to accept the 1v1. Instead of getting the 1v1, I sat waiting. And waiting. And waiting.
Look at that shield. Oh, that's my funky one.
Yeah, stop killing me. Mashy, stop killing me.
Yeah, you guys gonna fight or what?
Well, I killed him when I had diamond armor. He had the full max armor that I now have today.
Dear, Mashy's ready. I want to see this fight happen.
I have to go in literally 10 minutes. Mashy, if we fight right now, do we get to keep each other's stuff or do we give it back?
Dia was not going to accept, and I just had to accept that I'd lost my armor forever. I guess. That wasn't the end of him making enemies though. Active was already stealing from me and my brother MashyZ for his potions to sell to Dia, but Dia hadn't had enough of sucking all the resources out of us. As MashyZ's teammate Blast was AFK, Dia came to his base and killed him, stealing another max set of netherite armor. Enough was enough, and I worked with MashyZ the best I could to try and kill him.
Get MashyZ ready. Get MashyZ ready.
In chat I kept seeing Dia kill Blast over and over again. Not wanting to stand for this, I quickly looked for where he was. With MashyZ camping at spawn, I quickly found Dia and then deployed towards him. Unfortunately, I was lagging again. And then, I somehow ran out of ender pearls. Unfortunately, I'd somehow let him escape, and then he logged off. But not long after, I had another chance. You see, MD had recently lost the elections to Abbas, So MD, David and Dia quickly hatched up a plan to kill Abbas together. That way, Abbas would lose presidency and one of them could run as president. But this meant they had now made enemies of Star and Abbas. And now I could finally work with my former mortal enemy Star to kill Dia once and for all. Abbas gave me some resources and I hurried to spawn to find Dia. This time I made sure I was fully prepared and had enough ender pearls to chase him. But like I said, I'm not very good at PvP or ender pearl chasing. And who would have guessed running 123 Dia was so good at running away? I had lost Dia again, but this time I had Star and Abbas on my side. If Dia was going to go around killing people while they were AFK, I had to think of an equally scummy way of killing him. If there was one person he wanted to kill more than anyone else, it would have to be Star or Abbas. So me and Star met up at Seat's base, and Star, using his alt account, acted as bait to bait Dia to come and kill him. He should be here anytime soon. Bro, that's so bait. Why is he saying that? This actually works now. What the hell? As he realized what had happened, he immediately ender-pearled, running away from me as fast as he could. Not knowing where he went, I saw a netherite figure in the distance and ender-pearled straight towards it. It was David, who had begged Dia to make peace with me earlier. I wasn't going to kill him. My target was Dia. It was too late though. I had ender-pearled the wrong way, and Dia had escaped. In the next couple of days, disaster struck. Dia and David were exploring the edges of MashySMP, and due to not being able to see the border, flew straight through it and died. My armor, the king's armor, the armor I had spent so long making for my supposed future war against Star, was lost. Dia complained that the bug that caused him to fly into the border was caused by the server, and so I gave him a new legendary set of armor. Some say it was greater than the king's armor. It was called the Don't Go In Border armor. Sadly, I came to accept that it was impossible to ever get my armor back, so I made the king's replica set in memory of it. Meanwhile, Star and Abbas were still having a lot of fun killing David and Dia, making them run low on armor. If I wasn't ever going to get revenge myself, at least I had the satisfaction of getting it indirectly. Well, I had satisfaction, until I didn't. While building my iron farm at Zell Tower, I'd let my guard down. With only building materials in my hand in the middle of watching a tutorial, I heard myself getting hit. I got back on Minecraft and surprisingly, it wasn't Dia who was hitting me this time. It was the person I had spared not too long ago. Both David and Dia were at my base trying to kill me, and it couldn't be happening that I was going to lose another set of armor. Unfortunately, I did. Now my Chaos Max armor set had also been stolen. This was the last straw. I was going to go all out this time. I crafted a new set of armor called the Kyuubi set. It was named after the source of power of a character from my favourite TV show called Naruto. This armor set, like Naruto, also had a source of power: custom enchantments. When combining the Cracked Orange enchantment book, which provided night vision, and the Obama Breathe enchantment book, which provided breathing underwater, you'd get the Cracked Cry enchantment, which provided water splashes against fire, and it also provided extra health. It was finally time to get my revenge. With the help of Star again, he baited them to both come online, and I finally got my chance at attacking them both in a 2v1. But they both combat logged. I'd lost my final chance, and although they tried attacking me while I was building some more times, this time I was ready and always got away, and when I was ready to counterattack, they would have logged off. Some time passed and David and Dia were no longer friends. Dia, being the extreme person he was, destroyed all of David's chests and killed his villagers. I couldn't defend what he did and Dia was finally banned. Some more time passed, and after a community vote, mainly by people who wanted to kill him again, he was voted to be unbanned and he immediately went back to his old ways. David and Dia made up together and went to my base at like 2 AM while I was offline. Normally at this time, Fardeen would go AFK to get resources, but he was unaware that unbanned Dia had decided to target and kill everyone. Fardeen never wanted to get involved with the war, so naturally he combat logged, but he left someone unattended. Salman Kutta Khan. The dog who had survived countless raids on my base. The dog who had nearly drowned but lived. It was killed by David.
We're just gonna have a minute of peace. Just remembering Salman Kutta Khan's. Oh yeah, I'm hungry. Wait, what? I don't have any food, Mashy. Like, look, here's his remains, Salman Kutta Khan's. Wait, what? Wait, no! No! He just ate Salman Kutta Khan?
Unfortunately, I didn't know it at the time, so no one was banned. When I logged back in, I thought I had lost my dog somewhere. But now that I know where he went, Kutta, the giant, guards his grave. When Fardeen eventually logged back in, he was killed by Dia, who was waiting. Fardeen wanted to get his items back very much as he had spent a lot of time grinding for all his things, so he paid Zack and Borks to kill Dia for him. Waiting for Dia to log in, they camped his logout area, and when he logged in, he tried escaping but to no avail. And then he combat logged. He refused to log back in, and enough was enough. I finally permanently banned him. As a celebration, we held an auction for Dia's items, and I finally got to see what I was looking for.
This is Dia's, after he killed me. He took my king's armor, and then he went into the...
I can get that back for you.
Unfortunately, he lost the king's armor when he went into the border and then died. So this is his don't go in border armor. He's got my Chaos Max set in here as well.
The don't go in border armor set, which was a memento of the king's armor, and the Chaos Max sets were there in his shulkers, almost complete. I'd finally got my hands on them, except there was a problem. This was an auction, and I had no netherite or diamonds left after spending them maxing out my Kyuubi set. Was the armor I had been waiting so long for going to be sold to someone like Star or Bass? Luckily, with Fardeen grinding so much, he bought everything Dia ever owned. Well, I guess Fardeen got his revenge. And him being my teammate, he also gave me my armor back, so I guess I got everything back too. Well, except for the first ever diamond armor set that I had crafted, which had been stolen when Star killed me because he was hired by a mysterious person, but that's a story for another time. Thanks for watching.